So I'm going to do a little something different today. I'm going to read some excerpts from a story I've been writing that I don't really have a name for. I have decided on, like, Enforcer or Codex, but I cannot, like, decide between them. I don't know, maybe something else would come along later. I don't know. The entire premise was more to do with just trying to utilize a character that I came up with during an RP that I just happened to like this character a lot. His name is Ivan Petrov Barnes, and he is the son of Bucky Barnes and a Hydra operative from Russia named Yelena Petrova. Now, in that, it was more because of it was an experiment to see if the serum the serum that was used on him would pass on to offspring, and it worked in the RP. And Yelena tried to take Ivan and protect him, try to escape with her son, and ended up dead. And Bucky was put on ice after being shown what happened to Yelena, which was she was gunned down. Ivan was then used, he was raised by Hydra to basically be another Winter Soldier that they could use. Since he was young, they really couldn't do some of the same tactics that they used on Bucky, but they did utilize some scare tactics on him. So he was utterly petrified to try to run away. But in this, I took Ivan and I kind of came up with a dystopian future where the secret police, essentially, they're kind of the secret police. The enforcers are the ones that have the guns outside of the military. And in this is a future that is essentially everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And history is written by the victors, and in this, the history is written by the NAU, which is the North American Union. The North American Union is the combination of Canada and America, much in kind of the same way as European Union, if the European Union finally decided to just do away with, well, actually, take it back, because they're still a union. They're just a little less blatant. They're a little less blatant with how easy it would be to turn this into a dictatorship. So I just basically turned America, or the NAU, into a dictatorship. And I did it kind of slowly over a period of almost 100 years. I kind of came up with that. Dates are subject to change. I might change them over time to be a little bit further into the future, but not by much. Mostly because I cannot predict the future, and I cannot predict when I'm going to finish this, so by the time I'm finished with it, it might look a little bit different, or even drastically different. But for right now, this is what I've got. I'm going to be reading the history bits. In the year 2021, after many deaths at the hands of guns, the President of the United States of America finally did away with gun ownership. At first, only legislation was approved to increase the difficulty of acquiring guns, but that soon proved to do nothing. In the end, President William Howell decided that guns should only belong in the hands of those trained to use them. Thus, only the military and police were allowed. In the year 2025, the Second Civil War was fought to preserve the American Union, intoned the computer. States had tried to break the Union, but ultimately failed their attempts. The Union prevailed, and the states responsible were rightfully punished. President William Howell ensured none could break the Union again, and had those that had participated in their traitorous act were imprisoned. In the year 2033, after the Kansas City incident where law enforcement unlawfully killed several people of color, law enforcement wasn't allowed to carry firearms anymore. Only military was allowed to carry firearms until they left the military. In the year 2035, the Enforcer program was initiated. In the year 2040, Andrea Harris became America's first cisgendered female president. In June 2041, President Andrea Harris helped to form the North American Union. Inspired by the European Union across the Atlantic, President Andrea Harris and Canadian President Jerry Devereaux collaborated to create the North American Union for better trade between the two countries. In 2041, President Harris became the first president of the North American Union and established Washington, D.C. as the base for the NAU government. In that same year, the European Union was on the brink of collapse due to terrorists and anarchists destabilizing it with constant attacks. The NAU sent the NAU military over to help preserve the Union, and the next World War began. They managed to push the terrorists back, and by 2044, President Harris was re-elected as the president of the NAU to ensure the war against the terrorists was over. I know there's something else in here that I kind of played with. Oh yeah, there's a video from somebody who survived the Second Civil War and was put into a prison camp in San Marcos, which is outside of Austin. Austin was leveled in order to cow the governor into surrendering to the American Union. Not that everybody else in Texas was pleased. Texas was the forerunner in seceding from the Union in protest of abolishing the Second Amendment. So this is from somebody that the main character found footage of. The San Marcos prison camp. They take you here if you protest President Howell taking away our rights guaranteed by our Bill of Rights. We're all going to die soon. Those of us that were soldiers, they've all been shot for treason. People like me that took up a weapon and fought back, we get a monkey trial and then we'll get shot. I'm not sorry though. You can't break American spirits, Howell. You won't break Texas. I'll die with honor. You'll just die. Let's see. Oh, here we go. She pulled her jacket on and clocked out with her mini computer. The walk out of the museum was quiet, but the voices of the computer tour guides sort of led the way. America was originally discovered by the indigenous peoples that had once populated it before being colonized by Europeans. The museum was created after the fire of 2030. Mount Rushmore, once defaced with the heads of former presidents of years past, was given back to the Lakota peoples, and the faces were destroyed. Ellis Island was where immigrants came through from Europe to become Americans. Many were forced to change their names to fit into the American population. The Statue of Liberty was a present to Americans from the French people in 1886. America was founded in 1776 when former British colonies banded together to become one nation. New York City was once a Dutch colony called New Amsterdam on Manhattan Island in 1624. Those are all the computerized tour guides that she's passing by. Don't think I've got anything else. Because otherwise I'd have to actually explain more what's going on. She went to work and helped to piece the new Second Civil War exhibit. There wasn't as many real objects to worry about. Most of what was put up were pictures of Union soldiers and pictures of President Howell. There wasn't even the image of Austin after the missiles hit. Instead, a new narrative was put forth. In 2023, Texas initiated the Second Civil War with their secession. Other states followed, and Texas spearheaded the campaign. President William Howe sent Union soldiers into Texas and the other states to secure their defeat. By 2025, President Howe won the war with a brilliant move. He sent missiles at Austin, Texas, and the governor Henry Jameson surrendered. All traitors were given a trial and found guilty of sedition against the Union government. Read the new information plastered across the new images. She wanted to rip it down, but she had no choice in the matter. Oh yeah, she finds a MAGA hat, which she keeps instead of burning like it was actually supposed to be done. Anyway, thought I'd share that.